Jai Hind to all. Myself Manoj Kumar Sharma, Assistant Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department, Ajay Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today we will discuss the topic in the subject of data warehouse and data mining. And today topic is parallel processor systems, cluster systems, distributed DBMS implementation and warehousing softwares. Now, first topic is parallel processor and cluster systems. What are the need of parallel systems? If we have a number of queries and data fetches from the different resources and number of queries need to processing at a time, so we need to multiple processor in a single task. So parallel processing and cluster systems can be used in warehousing to improve the processing times and scalability and to handle the complex query and large amount of problems. Now, parallel processing refers to the simultaneous execution of the multiple tasks or instructions to speed up data operations in data warehousing in a crucial due to the massive volume of data and complex queries. Parallel processing is commonly used to perform complex tasks and computations. If we have a different complex problems, number of problems are increases, so we need to multiple processor at a time. So we can provide the single problem in divided into sub problems, and these sub problems are provided to the multiple processors, and all the solutions are integrated to each other and provided to the users and clients according to the requirements. What are the concept of parallel processing? Tasks are divided into smaller subtasks and executed simultaneously across multiple processes. Now, symmetric multiprocessing, it is a type of parallel processing. Multiprocessing involve computer hardware and software architectures where there are multiple processing units executing program for the single operating systems. Means we have a single memory. This is the main architecture of symmetric multiprocessors. Main memory are common, and these are the cache memories and input devices, and they are the multiple processors. Means multiple processors have a individual cache memory and connected with the single main memories. Means we have a data and query fetching from the users, so multiple processors work on accordingly. So symmetric multiprocessors refer to the computer architecture where multiple identical processors are interconnected to a single shared memory with full accessibility to all the input outputs. So here processor 1, processor 2 and processor 3, and this is the input output, and main memory are shareable mode. This is the shareable mode. Now, characteristics of symmetric multiprocessing: identical, all the processes are treated equally, that is all are identicals. Communication, shared memory is the mode of the communication among the processors. If we processor 1 and processor 2 need to communicate each other, so processors can communicate to another processor through the main memory in the mode of communications. Complexity are complex in design as all units share same memory and data buses. This is the expensive because of multiple processors are connected to in a single environment, and memory is a shareable mode. Second type of parallel processing is massively parallel processing. Massively parallel processing is the coordinating processing of a single task by multiple processors, and each processor using its own operating system and memory. Means multiple processors are connected in a single architectures. Means this is the single disk, CPU and memory. Means this is the single processor, processor P1, processor P2, processor P3 and processor P4 and processor P5. Means each and every processor has its own memory and own CPU. It is a example of distributed system, and distributed system show always each and every system are connected to each other, and each system has its own memory and own CPU. So in shared nothing architecture, there is a no single point of connections across the system, and do not share memory disk storage. This is the architecture of massively parallel processing. I already discussed with you. Advantages of parallel processing: first advantage is increased throughput, increased reliability, cost saving and true parallel processing. And one more advantage of massively parallel processing is fault tolerant facility available because of each and every system and multiprocessor have own memory and CPU. If any failure and any fault are in the system, so all the multiprocessor individually work and manage the task accordingly. Now the next topic is cluster system. What is cluster system? Means multiple processors, multiple nodes collectively work and connected to each other. Cluster system is a group of interconnected computer components and nodes that work together as a single system. And each node runs its own instances of the operating system and has its own storage. These are the processors P1, P2, P3 and P4. This is the local network, high-speed network, cluster middleware, and these are the individual applications run on individually processors. And this is the whole architecture of the cluster system, and all the CPU working as a own complete clusters. This is the differentiate between SMP, MPP, and cluster system. Symmetric multiprocessors, massively parallel processing, and cluster system. All CPU are connected on a single bus and shared disk and shared memories are available in the SMP, symmetric multiprocessing. In massively multiprocessing, each processor has its own memory and own disk. Each processor has its own memory and own disk. And in cluster systems, all the CPUs and all the processors working in a collaboration way. Means this is the nodes, node 1, node 2 and node 3, and memory in the shareable mode. So this is the basic architecture in a single view and differentiate between the SMP, MMP and cluster architectures. Now benefits of parallel processing and cluster system. First benefit is improve the scalability. If we have a high requirement of the query fetching, so we need to multiple processor working on the similar way. So multiple processor means parallel processing and cluster system can scale to handle large and complex problems accordingly. Better performance. Parallel processing can improve the performance by a segmentation and problem and processing each part in the paralleling manner. Communication and coordinations. Parallel computings require efficient communication and coordinating between the nodes, which can be managed by the parallel programming framework. And now next topic is distributed DBMS implementation. Database management system is a combination of databases from heterogeneous sources. So distributed means decentralized. If we have a DBMS, we need to different locations. So this is the distributed DBMS 1, distributed DBMS 2 and distributed DBMS 3. And this is the centralized system distributed DBMS. It can be used by the local users, it can be used by the global users, and global schema are available and control over the all distributed DBMSs. Distributed DBMS is a collection of multiple interconnected databases which are spread physically across various locations that are communicated via computer networks. Means if we have a distributed system, if we have a single organization and company and different locations, so we need to distribute the database on different locations. So we use the distributed database concept. What are the features of distributed database? Databases is the collection or logically interrelated with each other. Often they represent a single logical databases. Data is physically stored across multiple sites. Data in each site can manage by the DBMS independently and update accordingly. If we change the data distributed management system in a location 1, so it is a necessary and compulsory accessibility to automatically update on all sites. The processor in the sites are connected via network. They do not have any multiprocessing configurations. Now, our distributed database management system. It is a centralized software system that manages all distributed database in the manner if it were all stored in a single locations. Distributed database management system is a system and it is a technology, it is a framework to manage the all distributed DBMSs are located on the different locations. It is used to create, It is used to retrieve, update and delete the distributed database on different locations on a single place. It synchronizes the database periodically and provide access mechanism by the virtue of which the distribution become transparent to the users. It ensures that the data modified at any site is universally updated. If we have a database 1, if we have a database 2 and database 3, if I update the database in D1, it means all the database are updated accordingly. It is the features of the distributed database system. It is used in application area where large volume of data are processed and accessed by numerous users simultaneously. It is designed for heterogeneous database platforms. Database and data warehouse, basically it is a collection of different sources, and different type of data are stored in the DBMS and data warehouse. So it is a heterogeneous database platform, and it maintains confidentiality and data integrity. If any user need to access the database, so it is the necessary condition to maintain the confidentiality of the data, maintain the integrity of the users, and maintain the authentication of the users. Distributed DBMS implementation. Here are some ways of DBMS works. Data distribution. Distributed database data is split and replicated across multiple sites. This process is sometimes called data partitioning. And second is data synchronizations. A DBMS periodically synchronize data across all the sites according to the user requirements. Data updates. Updates made to data in one location are automatically reflected to all other locations. Data integrity. Maintain the confidentiality and integrity of the data. Factors encouraging DBMS. What are the factors to encourage, implement and design the distributed database management system? First is distributed nature of organization unit. Most organizations in the current times are subdivided into multiple units. That's we need to distributed DBMS. Second is need for sharing the data. According to this factors, if we have a organization 1 and multiple sites are available, so multiple organization units often need to communicate with each other and share the data through distributed DBMS. Support for both OLTP and OLAP tools, means online analytical processing and online transaction processing. Database recovery also available. We use the decentralized concept in this. So one of the common techniques used in DBMS is replication of data across different sites. Replication basically provide the duplicacy of the data on another location. So if we have any fault, so we can easily fetch and retrieve the data through the recovery concept and replication concept. Support for multiple application softwares. Most organizations use a variety of application software, each with its specific database support. DBMS provide a uniform functionality for using the same data among different platforms. Advantages of the DBMS. It is a fast reliability and availability of data anytime, possesses reduced operating cost. It is easier to expand and system by adding more sites, means scalability, and it has improved sharing ability and local autonomy. Now the next topic is warehouse management system. Warehouse context. WMS refer the software tools and techniques to manage, optimize and automate data storage, retrieval and processing operations in a data warehouse. WMS basically it is provide the technology and tool how to manage the database in the data warehouse. The warehouse management system is software that control and manage the daily operations in the databases. What are the role of WMS in the data warehouse? First role is how to store the data in the data warehouse. Data storage management. It control how data is stored in fact tables, dimension tables and different types of schemas are available in the data warehouse. So we need to choose the schemas according to the data. Data movement and retrieval. Basically it use the ETL process, means extract the data from different locations, transform the data according to the consistency and inconsistency, reduce the redundancy of the data, and after transformation we load the data in data staging areas. Resource optimizations, balance query, load, CPU memory and input output usage, avoid bottleneck in large scale of queries. It means maximum utilization of resources for providing the optimizations. Next is inventory of data. Data warehouse and WMS basically control the inventory systems and trade the metadata, where data comes from the how to transform and how it is stored. Basically, metadata is a part of the data warehouse. It means it is a concept of specific data, a specific portion of data, individually specific sites of data. It is called metadata. Now, security and access control. It also provides the integrity and confidentiality of the data. Now, what are the key features of WMS in data warehouse? ETL process, I already explained, extract the data, transform and loading in the staging area, data quality management, removing duplicates, cleaning the errors, in assuming the consistency of the data, and also reduce the redundancy of the data. Performance monitoring, query optimization, caching and indexing, scalability, support very large data set and distributed data in the data warehouse. And last is metadata repository, storing business definitions, data lineage and transformation rules. Now, benefits of WMS in data warehouse. First benefit is efficient data organization and faster query fetchings, improve data quality and maintain the consistency, better decision making through timely data availability, reduce operation cost with automation and enhance the security and compliance, and also provide the confidentiality and integrity of the data. Thank you.